3rd and goal from the 8. Aaron Rodgers seems to have an entire half of the field directly to his right in front of him, and he decides to not take off, and he throws it back across the grain into the teeth of the Bucs defense, and there's Davante Adams between 2 Bucs defenders in a pass that seemed to have no chance of being completed. 4th down. Cannot believe. Down 8. Matt LaFleur, with all that he's got at his disposal and slide rules and analytics and whatever, decides to kick the field goal. Now, I know, mathematics, I've looked this up, and people have tweeted at me, whatever, because I tweeted out, hey, all you math analytics experts, please explain to me why a field goal works here. And I'm told it only actually going for the field goal was the right move. I have no idea.
Get out of here.
I don't know the mathematics. I even saw one that said that it did going for it on 4th down would have only improved their chances by a mere 3%. I don't get it. All I know is my own 2 eyes. The same thing with Kevin Cash in the World Series.
Exactly.
My own 2 eyes says Snell should be staying in the game.
Right.
And my own 2 eyes was, it's 4th and 8. Your MVP quarterback can have the ball in his hands. And you're assuming you're going to give this quarterback another shot from the 8. And the people who are going to provide it is a defense that, yes, has picked off Brady twice in the second half, but has been picked apart otherwise. And it's Thomas friggin' Brady. Okay?
Yeah. It's Tom Brady over there.
Act like you know.
I mean, kicking the extra point. I mean, the field goal. And sure enough, Brady doesn't give the ball back, and that's all she wrote, which is, again, we've seen that for the opponent. We've seen that horror movie. What are we? It's Halloween 23, right? We've seen that horror movie. So Aaron Rodgers showed up to his post-game press conference. And this made a lot of news. I did not watch it live. My Twitter feed just starts exploding during the beginning of the AFC Championship game. And Aaron Rodgers, who all season long has been saying, he said it on this show, he said it on McAfee a million times, where he's kicking it with McAfee and AJ Hawk every single week on his show. And he's just living his best life. Bad night when Jordan Love got drafted, but, he's worked on himself. And you can absolutely understand that he's gutted in the loss. Gutted. He's going to be the MVP. He did get his NFC Championship game at home, and it's Tom Brady, of all people, coming to his house and denying him. And some of his receivers dropped some balls. And ultimately, when it came time to his coach, who has been nothing but successful, 26 regular season wins in the first 2 years, a complete heel turn from the Mike McCarthy era in the final years of that. When it came time to it, the coach said, I'm going to trust the defense. That's a fact. That's a fact. Can't risk it with Aaron Rodgers from the 8-yard line. Got to get the points. I can only imagine how that felt to Aaron Rodgers when his buddy trotted out on the field for the field goal. And Aaron Rodgers, after the game, was asked if he agreed with the decision. I mean, if point-blank question, here's his response.
Aaron, did you agree with the decision to kick it there on 4th down?
Well, I didn't have a decision on that one. Yeah, that wasn't my decision. But I understand the thinking above 2 minutes with all of our timeouts, but yeah, that wasn't my decision.
He understands the thinking. Later on, when asked if he thought he could score, why didn't he run it? Why did he throw to Davante Adams? He said, because I thought that we might have another down. And I mentioned this with Peter King earlier, and I'll say it here. That makes very little sense to me, because if you thought you had another down, you'd run the ball.
Get closer.
You'd get closer. You'd get closer. And to me, that is the exact moment I thought there might be a problem between these two guys. Now, cooler heads can prevail. He's going to go maybe back out here to Southern California. He's got a spot. He can go on vacation. He's going to do all that stuff. He's going to clear his head. He's going to clear his head. But to basically come on after the game, sit in that press conference, and essentially say his future and everyone else's future in that locker room is up in the air. I really don't know what's next for me, says Aaron Rodgers. This is what he had to say after another soundbite.
I think this one, as much as any of them, I just found some really special friendships with, Mercedes and Devontae. Especially Tim and I have become really close over the years. Jamal, I love Jamal. Aaron Jones. There's a lot of guys' futures that are, uncertain, myself included. That's what's sad about it most. Getting this far. Obviously, there's going to be an end to it at some point, whether we make it past this one or not. But just the uncertainty is tough, and the finality of it all. There's a lot of unknowns going into this offseason now. And I'm going to have to take some time away for sure and clear my head and just kind of see what's going on with everything.
So let's put it all together here. Again, if he thought he had another down, the smart play would be to run it. So he clearly was not going to take any opportunity to have his coach taken off the griddle. And again, I think that is born out of a fit of pique. I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. Anybody in any business that you put your heart and soul into your job on a line and your manager says, let's play it safe, let's not run the risk of you completing the mission for all of us, you would all be pissed off. I know I would be. First blush, but you don't have to go in front of cameras and Zooms in a moment, just literally 10 minutes after your entire year's work, month's work, year's work is down the tubes. So he was not ready to basically, I don't think, throw LaFleur a little bit of a lifeline there. Now, does that mean that he can't play for this coach anymore? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But what this all means to me, that response when he kind of chuckled and said, including me, is that, yes, he has worked on himself. And again, I haven't spoken to him about this, but we have spoken with him about it. Yes, he has worked on himself. Yes, he has found a different plane of consciousness all year long. But the drafting of Jordan Love is not a bygone. Not by a long shot. Not when they still could not get past where they were last year, with the exception of hosting this game that they lost as opposed to traveling to lose it. And right in front of him is a guy late in his career who decided, yeah, I'm done with the way that things were done for me and maybe to me. I'm done with that, said Tom Brady. I'm going to go to another spot. Now, the Packers' current roster is ready to win with Rodgers. I don't know if the Patriots' current roster Brady looked at and thought that that was ready for him to win in his closing window. So it's a little bit of apples and oranges. But the whole concept of a GOAT saying, yeah, I don't have to do it this way anymore. Do I? I'm done with people not believing in me from either the front office by drafting my replacement rather than a defender that could have stopped Raheem Mostert last year or Tom Brady this year. I'm done with a head coach that looks at the scoreboard and says, I'm not going to put the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hand. I'm going to give somebody else a shot. Done with it. And then they sick him in front of a microphone. Can he change his mind? Cooler heads prevail? Absolutely. Will he play for the Packers next year? I would say yes. After that, I don't know. That's the way I view that. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.